All right, so let's get started. So as Demar just said, we had so much to cover that we decided, like any good blockbuster movie, we'd split it into two parts. There was just too much to cover today, and so what you see here are the sort of overall themes of the 8.3 release. Today, we're really going to focus on showing you the first two, and so I'm going to set up the entire release, but please understand we're going to you know really only have time to focus on sort of agents today, and then come back for the part two of the tech hour, and we'll go through even more of the great features and capabilities in this release, really primarily centered around no code and some of the other platform enhancements. Um, one thing I wanted to first start off with was really sort of again talking about the release. This is a huge release. This is we call it the twin release. You'll see lots of these little mascots showing up in pictures. We're having fun with it. They're really just agents. You'll hear about this. A twin is not a feature. It's not a product name. It's just our way of trying to humanize the fact that AI can be part of the daily work. So again, it's not a product name, but let's have fun with it anyway, and talk about this twin release and all the great things that are part of this. Um, the first thing I'll say about this release, and really the one of the big investments, was the deep integration we did. So this is not just sort of adding on a feature that adds on an AI capability. This was a fairly technically challenging investment to really put AI into the core. And what I mean by that is, yeah, Creatio AI now has a native understanding of anything and everything inside Creatio. That means you don't have to, connect it in so that it understands certain objects or workflows. By default, it understands any object, any workflow, anything in our apps or anything custom in any of your apps, right? So it just is pervasively now able to act upon and understand information, which is really powerful. And what that allows you to do, and you'll see this, is I can now use natural language pretty much anywhere that I could use, traditional sort of UI. I could now use natural language, and I can alternate back and forth. And we've done a bunch of things to make this sort of a new sort of full desktop experience, right? Where it's no longer confined or trapped to just sort of the side of your UI, but you can live and work entirely in this conversational UI if that's your preferred mode. And sometimes if you're with a customer or you're on the road and you're on a tablet or a phone, the full screen immersive mode may be the right choice for you, but you get to choose. One of the things that we're not really going to show today, but is really powerful capability, is also how the UI comes with you, not just inside your Creatio app, but in other productivity tools as well. And so we've released the ability to embed inside Outlook. In Teams. We'll be releasing Zoom a little bit later in the year, and so part of this is really making it sort of a daily companion, so that as you move back and forth between different frequently used apps, it's there. Now, this sets up the second theme, which is agents and apps are working together, right? This isn't an AI taking over the work you do. It's not going to be able to do everything you do, right? It will hopefully take on the manual tasks, the time-consuming tasks that frees you up to really focus on your core work. And so you'll see that AI is really good at some things. It will make you more productive. The other thing we'll show though is that it typically is implementing a conversational pattern we call a human in the loop. So it will check in, ask, review before it takes action. And this is because we know that most people are still not fully comfortable yet, or trusting sometimes that AI can do the tasks. And so this helps ensure that you review it, that you can manage it to the way that you want it to work. And so we'll show you some of our agents that are out of the box. If you go to the next slide, this is a complete list, by the way, that extends through our 8.3.1 release. We sort of look at both the 8.3 release and one release as sort of the summer release. They're both connected and part of this release wave. And so you'll see all these agents be released. We'll show a couple of these today, but then we will have more that will come a little bit, in really just 2 months time or less. And that'll be part of the this first wave. We continue to update throughout the year. You'll see more and more agents come throughout the end of the calendar year and the next year, but this is really sort of the summer wave, or we're calling wave one. So let's go one more slide, and this is a sort of a peek ahead. We're not going to talk a ton about no code. Strangely enough, as you know, we are incredibly excited about no code. What we will show you is the no code agent builder. So that is one feature that you'll get to see today, and how to build your own agent. But there's a lot more in this release that covers other parts of no code tools and productivity. And that'll have to unfortunately wait until part two of this. So that's really all we have time for me to say. I'm now going to turn things back over to Dagmara, who's going to set up and talk about what she's going to show you. And this is an exciting chance to get hands-on. You get to see it in action. You can try this yourself if you have a trial account, or if you have an account that as soon as it's upgraded to 8.3, you'll be able to follow along and do this hands-on. So watch and learn. Thanks. Over to you, Dagmar.
Thank you so much. All right, so to the technical side of things, let's see. So again, my name is Dagmara. As you already know, I'm a technical trainer at Creatio, and I'm so excited to show you and walk you through Creatio AI agents. So in this session, I'll walk you through the different types of AI agents currently available in version 8.3. So we'll explore the key details you can find within an agent's record, and take a look at some of the latest updates to our Creatio AI chats. Most importantly, I'll show you how to build your very own AI agent from scratch. And we're gonna give it some unique skills that includes 2 custom actions. So by the end, you'll have a hands-on understanding on how to create and how to configure agents tailored to your needs. All right. So we've rolled out a lot of exciting updates in this release, but the most significant one is the introduction of AI agents. So now, you might be thinking, wait a second, haven't we already had Creatio AI? We've had skills and everything's been working great so far. So what exactly are these agents? Let me walk you through what they are, why they matter, and how you'll be able to use them in your daily work. So at a fundamental level, AI agents are systems capable of making decisions and handling complex business tasks by using the tools already available in the Creatio platform. So now, from a technical standpoint, Creatio has actually had agentic capabilities even before version 8.3. But with this release, AI agents are being formally introduced as a distinct system entity. So they come with their own structure, their own internal logic, and this change enables the platform to tackle more complex, multi-step tasks. All right, so there are 2 main ways to think about AI agents. First, you can view them as a set of complex business tasks grouped together. So for example, something like running an entire marketing campaign. Second way is to think of them as representations of specific user roles with defined responsibilities, like a support agent or sales manager. So essentially, agents either represent a business role or a high-level business process. Unlike skills, which focus on specific tasks, agents work with broader contexts. They're built to handle scenarios where more detailed business input is needed. So this helps Creatio solve complex tasks more efficiently and with greater clarity for use.
Yeah, one thing.
Yeah,
Sorry,
sure.
one thing I was just going to jump in, Dagmar, on that point, which is, people often talk about, well, AI hallucinates, or, it doesn't respond exactly the way that I would want it to respond. And one of the benefits of what you see here that Dagmar just talked about was, by making the agent focus, much more narrow, and by giving it very specific skills, giving it documents, giving it actions, this actually grounds it in your workflow, right? Or in your practices. And so this improves the reliability and the accuracy of an agent's response. And so it's one of the techniques that that really allows us to make the agent more intelligent, right? And also be able to tune it or train it to your specific task, right? So you can feed it more files, or you can feed it more skills that really tune it to behave just the way you want to, and not just sort of trying to randomly try to answer your response like a chat GPT or another traditional agent might.
Right, thank you so much. One more important thing that I wanted to mention, something to keep in mind, Creatio AI agents operate using only their own set of skills and actions, right? So uh, something to keep in mind, if you already have a skill, you can reuse them. They can be reused and assembled. So uh, you can work with what you already have and then perhaps build on top of that with our new features. Okay, so let me move you to my environment. Let me show you from the user perspective. 1 second.
Well, while she's transferring over to her desk, the other thing I'll say is it also has the benefit of being more efficient and performant. And so, although you don't see this on the back end and sort of the cloud environment, it means that it can really optimize how compute resources, et cetera, are allocated by agent. So this also will mean that as you start to deploy more and more agents, that it uses it more efficiently and will help the system perform better than if you were just trying to make all skills available to all users at all time. This allows you to tailor which skills are available for this agent and target agents to very specific roles that allows a greater performance and efficiency.
Exactly. Thank you so much. All right. So I hope you can see my screen. All right. So let's begin with the configuration side of things. So from the left side, I'm going to go to my AI command center, where you'll be able to find your Creatio AI agents. You're probably already familiar with our AI skills, our dashboards, ML models. So let me show you what's new. All right, so again, we have a new section called Creatio AI Agents. This is where you can view and manage all the agents currently available to you. As of version 8.3, Creatio includes 6 out-of-the-box agents. We have a case resolution agent, knowledge agent, productivity agent, Creatio AI agent, image generation agent, and sales agent. Each of these are available based on the specific Creatio product package you're using. A detailed breakdown of product compatibility will be published on the Creatio Academy. So let me briefly tell you what each agent does and how it can be of help for you. So our case resolution agent helps users manage and resolve support cases. Knowledge agent assists with knowledge-based operations. Productivity agent supports planning activities. And our Creatio AI agent is a general purpose agent designed to handle tasks that aren't covered by the more specialized agent. The email generation agent helps with drafting communications and marketing content. And finally, our sales agent is designed to support standard sales processes. There is one more here in my environment. I've called it Relationship Health Checker, and this one is a custom one. So later on in another environment, I'll show you how to create it from scratch, but not for later. Let's take a closer look at one of the agents, the out-of-the-box ones that we have here. So for example, I can go to Sales Agent. All right, perhaps I could zoom out a little bit. All right,
And Dagmar, one thing I should comment on the as I mentioned, we're working towards the 8.3.1 release, which will be where we sort of fully release that first wave of agents. Some of the agents are still not sort of fully packaged into the final form. You see here the sales agent is sort of one agent. But by the time we release in 8.3.1, you'll see us break down the sales agent into more granular roles, things like a research agent that knows how to help augment or enrich your data, or there'll be a different agent for things like quoting. So right now we are releasing it together, but you'll see us break these apart and refactor them a bit in the final release. But anyway, but otherwise the functionality will be the same. It's just slightly packaged differently. Keep that in mind as Dagmar is taking the tour through the sales agent.
All right, lovely. Thank you so much. Let's see. 1 second. All right, so let's take a closer look at what's within the agent's wreckage. And I want to, if I may, thank Roman Prus for introducing me to all of these details. I want to quote him here because he helped me greatly in understanding all of this, what is under the hood here. So let me show you what I've learned. So when you open the agent card, you'll notice a clean and well-organized interface. Let's go to the left top. What we have here, as you can see, we have a couple of things we need to take care of as these are mandatory. So we have a title, we have a code, and we have our status toggle, which lets you control whether the agent is active and available across the platform or not. To the right side, here in the middle, let's start with the top, we have a description that explains the agent's purpose. It uses the description to help determine when the agent should be activated, just like with skills. All right, a little below from that, we have a role field that defines how the agent behaves and what kind of knowledge it uses. In the case of the sales agent, it acts like a skilled sales professional, so someone capable of qualifying leads and closing deals. Next, we have instructions that provide guidance on how the agent should behave and what actions are allowed to perform. And then we have limitations and restrictions right here. So this is meant to specify what the agent can't do or how it should respond in specific situations. And below, as you can see, we dive to AI skills. All right, this is where it gets really interesting. We have our AI skills section here. So you'll see a list of skills assigned specifically to that agent. These are the tools it can use to perform its tasks. Previously, Creatio AI had access to all skills across the platform. Now, like we've already mentioned, each agent primarily relies on the skills that are directly assigned to it. So, as you already know, an AI skill is a self-contained actionable unit that represents a single complex business task. An agent can have multiple skills, as you can see here, each one addressing a different scenario based on the agent's role. So you can review the current list of skills connected to your agent, inspect them, update them, or perhaps create ones by clicking on the plus sign and going to create new. We're going to practice that later, so I'll show you how to create one from scratch. All right, you could also reuse existing skills and assign them to the agent. Once a skill is added, the agent will be able to use it as part of the user interaction. Now, if I go a little bit lower here, we have AI actions. So we have an AI action block. These are the same actions that are available within skills, but now agents can access them too. So what's the difference between a skill and an action? You could think of it this way. Skills are used for more complex tasks, for example, creating a vacation request. Actions, on the other hand, are smaller, more focused operations like checking the number of available vacation days or updating contact information. And just like with skills, you can create new actions from here by clicking on the plus sign, or reuse existing ones from anywhere else in the system. Okay, so again, one of the key advantages of this setup is flexibility. Skills and actions can be shared across multiple agents. No matter how many agents, skills, or actions you have, you can combine them in a way that suits your business needs. So it's all modular, built around what you need and how you want to use it. All right, so this reflects the big shift towards a fully composable agentic architecture. You now have the ability to build and adapt agents based on your own use cases. And also below, at the very bottom here, we have attachments. All right, so you can now attach documents and files directly to agents or their skills. These can be used as additional context. You can have checklists, templates, or further instructions. All right, and something to also keep in mind, starting with the 8.3 release, every skill must be linked to at least one agent in order to be available for use. If a skill isn't connected to an agent, it simply won't be accessible in chat. So, to make this transition smooth for existing users, here's what's being done. All custom skills created before 8.3 version will automatically be assigned to our default agent called Creatio AI agent. Let's go to this one then. There you have it. Let's see. So our default agent is designed to handle general purpose or uncategorized tasks like translation, rephrasing, any other business need not tied directly to areas like sales or service. So of course, users can later reassign skills as needed, moving sales-related ones to the sales agent or support-related ones to the case resolution agent, for example. Again, it's designed to give you full flexibility. So now that we've explored the agent card setup, you'll notice that there's nothing overly complex about it. In fact, if you've worked with skills before, setting up agents should feel even more straightforward. So we've made the configuration intentionally easy. Let me switch to the chat interface. In the top right, here it is. All right, so this is a key part of how Creatio AI agents actually operate in real-world use. So we start by clicking on the Creatio AI button in the top right corner of the screen, and that opens the chat interface. All right away, you'll see a refreshed design, new visuals, updated logos, and a modern look. And we've also added chat history support. Let me just show you. As you can see, I've been working with this environment and my agents quite a lot. So you can resume past conversations right where you left off. As you can see, for example, where I was working with some case summaries or working with my knowledge agent, I can go back and pick up where I left my conversation. Also, perhaps if you noticed, I can change the size of my chat. I can do this perhaps manually to make sure that it covers however much space I want it to cover, or perhaps you could go to the top right to sidebar mode and decide if you want to work with the default mode, expanded one, or full screen, like so. So whichever is more convenient to you. All right, so this brings us closer to enabling a fully conversational AI experience where users can complete entire tasks within the chat without needing to navigate to separate pages or modules. Let's see. We've also made major improvements to the general Creatio AI behavior in the system. In the past, users could sometimes steer Creatio into casual, non-work related conversations. Now the system stays focused. With non-business chats blocked in nearly 99% of cases, keeping it firmly centered on your task. So you can still ask questions directly in the chat. For instance, I can start a new one perhaps. I'll go to the expanded mode and I'll start a new chat. From the left up, as you can see, we have two icons. One to start a new chat, and the second one to work with our chat list, our history. Let's see. I could ask it, what can you help me with? Give it a moment. All right. And right away, as you can see at the very top, I can see Creatio AI, which represents my Creatio AI agents. Right away, I get a reply from one of the agents available for me. Also, well, you can start a conversation directly with a specific agent if you would like to address it directly. So here at the bottom, as you can see, we can mention agent, and we get to select the agent we want to address. So perhaps you could choose the one that you need. You'll see a list available of your available agents, each with a short description to help you understand what they specialize in. All right, if you don't know which one to choose, the description will guide you. Once you pick an agent and hit enter, you can continue the conversation directly with it. All right, let's try something a bit different. What happens if I want to shift the direction of a conversation significantly? For example, let's say I've been chatting with the Creatio AI agent, but then I need to help summarizing a case. So what do I do? Perhaps I could say, can you summarize the case? Let's give it a moment. All right. Now, as you can see, we get the response from our case resolution agent. All right, Creatio AI intelligently scans the context and automatically connects the most appropriate agent. In our case, in this case, the case resolution agent. You'll see that the next part of the conversation continues directly with this agent. I will receive the right response. I can continue with my conversation with the appropriate agent. So, of course, in this example, my chat doesn't actually contain any case data since I'm still in the agent configuration page. So perhaps I'll provide it with some case number. There you go. Let's give it a moment. And as you can see, the agent continues the conversation and delivers the expected result. So at the top, I can see the name of my agent, case resolution agent, and also within history to the left side, I can see its icon. All right. Now, let's see. Well, let's talk about what we've done to make the chat experience even better. Let's say I'm chatting with an agent, and I'm going to say, perhaps let's send it via email. But before I send it, maybe I get a phone call, maybe I get distracted, maybe I need to attend some important meeting and I have to be away from this agent for a moment. No problem. If I then switch to a new chat, maybe ask the sales agent something like, let me choose my sales agent, and I can ask it, what can you do for me? Let's give it a moment. All right, I'm now having a completely separate conversation later when I return to my original chat. So here, as you can see, I can pick up where I left things and continue working with this agent within this chat from the history. So I think a very user-friendly feature. I think this will be of help for us. All right, so this creates a fluid and interrupted experience that makes working with Creatio AI, I think, feel even more natural. All right, so again, we have our chat history. You can see previous conversations with auto-generated chat titles, view past messages, and it will help you identify which agent was involved in each conversation. All right. Also, finally, we've added file support directly inside the chat, so you'll be able to attach and work with files during your conversations. So, for example, I'm going to start a new chat. Give me just 1 second to include a file here. There it is. 1 second. Let me get the right one. I want to make sure I have the right file. There it is. Lovely. All right, and I'm gonna ask, for example, can you summarize this file, please? And short. Let's give it a moment. Definitely, if I can introduce a file with some long text, and if I can get a quick summary structured in such a way, this could be a great help for me in my daily work. So I'm really excited to see that we can work with files in such a way. And as you can see, Creatio AI agent came to rescue. All right, let me tell you now a little bit about some of the agents that we have available out of the box. One second, let me just get to my presentation. One moment, please. I think now the video wants to present itself, but now it's too late. Please give me let's skip it now. It's a great tune, but maybe for some other time. I wanted to show you the agents that we have out of the box, some of them, case resolution agent and knowledge agent. I think these could be of help for you as well. Let me start with a case resolution agent. All right, as you can see, to the right side, as you can see, we have a list of AI skills used for this agent. So we have case summarization, resolution suggestion, we have open case monitoring, case performance analysis. All of that to help us with our work with the case resolution agent in the case management and knowledge management app. Agents can quickly get case summaries and recommended solutions, again, making it easier to manage and resolve issues efficiently. All right, so let me now go back to my environment. Let's see. All right, I'm going to go to our case section. All right, perhaps I would need some more space here to work with. I'm going to start a new chat for myself. And let's see. Let me open, for example, this case that's still in status in progress. Let it be that one. So again, while working with a case, the support agent can ask Creatio AI to help with case summarization, for example. So as you can see, we have a couple of buttons out of the box to help us with this. So for example, I can ask to summarize case. Let's give it a moment. Let's see. All right, I can see my case resolution agent working, providing me with some technical summary, some recent interaction. Perhaps if I need, we can extend summary with some troubleshooting steps. So that also could be great for us. All right, let's see. In this case, our case resolution agents helps our users us quickly understand what's going on with the current case. All right, let's see. Then perhaps we could ask our agent to suggest a resolution for the current case. Let's see, I'm going to go back to the top and I have suggest case resolution. Let's give it a moment. Lovely. So again, based on the information available, communications, related records, the case resolution agent provides us with two things. First, we get previous suggestions, which the user can review to avoid duplicating the response to the customer. And second, we get new suggestions that could be useful in resolving the case. So these suggestions can be checked and shared with the customer directly from the case. Once the record is successfully resolved, so let me just resolve the record. Perhaps I would like to create an article with the resolution details to share with colleagues and to speed up resolution for similar future cases. So my agents can be of help here as well. We can use one of these at the top. As you can see, we have create article. All right, but before I go to create article, let me show you my presentation one more time, because I want to show you a little bit more about our knowledge agent. 1 second, please. All right, let me just mute myself for a second. All right. Let's get to our knowledge agent. There it is. Lovely. Okay, yes. So we have our knowledge agent. As you can see to the top right, we have our AI skill use. We have the article creation included here. So the new knowledge agent in the knowledge management app integrated with case management app helps summarize information and automatically generate case articles, making knowledge sharing faster and easier. So I think a great tool for working with knowledge management. All right. So now let's use it in practice. Let me go back to my demo. Now let's click on the create article button and let's give it a moment. All right, once I get my reply, the user can review and edit the text if needed, and then save the article. Yes, I would like to save this article. Let's give it a moment. All right, so as you can see, the knowledge agent came to rescue and is now working on my article based on the data coming from my case. Lovely. All right, is it ready? Okay, lovely. So now once I have the article ready, as you can see, I get a link to it. Also, I can go to my case. All right, and under closure and feedback, I should be able to see all the linked knowledge base articles. All right, now let's see. Let me walk you through the process of how to actually build them. But before I do so, I would love to hear back from you. Oh, I wanted to share the poll with you guys, but unfortunately, I would have to ask early if you could please share a poll. It's with number 2. Tag our number 2 if it's available from your perspective.
Industry leaders be part of your community and do some meaningful work helping get more women in the industry, and do that with a great team like yours. Because he only started back,
oh,
well,
goodness,
2023.
I'm so sorry to interrupt. I think we're having some technical troubles because I couldn't hear. So perhaps, guys,
I think I can do the poll. You said, sorry, which poll? This is
check our with number 2 to it.
okay. All right, let's try this.
Lovely. Okay, thank you so much, guys. If you could let us know in the poll, which of these are you most excited about? I would love to hear from you. Also, we will have some time for questions. Also, you can, at the end, we will have time for questions. Also, if you have any at this point, you can ask them in the chat. There's a couple of colleagues of ours that will be there to assist you and hopefully get the answers that you need. All right, so thank you. Let's start with the creation of a new one with new Creatio AI agent from scratch. So I'm going to go to my other environment. For Silver, I haven't configured anything. I'm going to start from scratch. I would like to create an agent for myself. Let's see. 1 second. Okay. So in my scenario, let's say I would like to create a relationship health checker AI agent with its associated skill and 2 no-code custom actions. So I would like for it, it's going to check if the currently opened contact person has had any recent activity in the past 30 days, and if not, generate a follow-up message that you can use to catch up. So how would I build this agent? First, again, I'm going to have to go to my AI command center, and I'll go to Creatio AI agents. Let's see. I will be able to see my out-of-the-box agents available here, and then I'm going to click on new to create my app. Here they are. All right, I would like to build on top of that. I'm going to click on new in the top right. Okay, let's see. I will proceed with the left top. As you can see, we have a couple of mandatory fields that we need to take care of. So I'm going to start with the title. All right, let's see. I want it to be called Relationship Health Checker. All right, as you can see, if I'm typing, the code takes care of itself. So a great detail to help me take care of things that are mandatory and also making sure I won't introduce any mistakes within. So very user-friendly approach, I would say. But then below status, we have to make sure it's set to active because only active agents will be available for us to work with us from the chat's perspective. All right, then I'm going to need to take care of the remaining details to the right side. Here to make sure we provide all required details for our agent to be able to assist us. So I have description, again, role, agent instructions, limitations, and restrictions. I already have prepared these details, so let me just introduce them onto the site. I'll try to keep things short and brief here for these details. So as you can see for description, we have our agent monitors recent interactions with contact persons. And again, we check for activities within the last 30 days. And if none are found, it will generate a personalized follow-up message to help maintain client relationships. All right. So I'm going to go for the role now. Like so. Then our agent instructions. And perhaps I want to introduce some limitations and restrictions. Like so. All right, so for the role, we need our agent to assist our user by tracking communication with contacts, suggesting timely follow-up. With our agent instructions, again, we're going to use our AI skill that we're going to create manually to check contact activity and create that draft follow-up message for us. Also, I've introduced some limitations and restrictions, so things like perhaps do not perform any actions that modify contact records automatically, or maybe keep responsive professional, perhaps avoid suggesting follow-ups for contacts with recent activities in the last 30 days, and so on. All right, once I have these details, I'm going to save what I have so far. In the top right, save. Okay, I can see my agent at the top. I'm going to go back to its record and scroll down a little bit to AI skills here below. So now I will have to take care of a custom skill for my relationship health checker agent. So here next to AI skills, I'm going to click on the plus sign and say create new. I want to build something of my own. Let's give it a moment. All right, and we can see the AI skill page. Let me start again from the left top. I'm going to call this skill no recent contact activity. In the left top, again, as you can see, the code took care of itself. This is a great help for me. I'm going to make sure that the status is active and the usage mode is set to chat. All right, then I will move to the right side and take care of the description at the very top of my page. Let me just copy it here. As you can see, we have little hints. We also have important notes and guides, as you probably already know, just to make sure that this process is simple, that it's easy for you to create your own AI skills. We also have included some links here to our Creatio Academy site in case you needed some further instructions. Okay, here's my description. So again, we monitor recent interactions with our contact persons. We check if there was any activities in the last 30 days. We make sure we maintain relationships by alerting when no recent communication is detected. Description here, very, very important because it is the description that is used by the LLM to identify whether or not a certain skill should be identified. User input will be compared against the description. And as you can see, it's mandatory. We have to keep in mind to make it specific. Okay, I'm going to hide important notes and guides in my case. I can see a prompt. Again, as you can see, we have some hints, some guidance for you to make it easier to help you understand how to build your prompt. I'm going to replace this with my own prompt for this one. So I'll remove what's here and I'll provide with my own. And as you can see within the prompt, I have mentioned use generate follow-up for inactive contact action and use the generate follow-up message draft action. So I will be creating 2 actions for my skill in a few moments. All right, but before I do so, I'm going to save my progress. Let me save what I already have. Lovely. This takes me back to my agent. I can see a skill now associated with it, no recent contact activity. Now I go back to my skill to take care of these actions. Okay, again, under action list, I can also create new. All right, again, actions define the individual steps needed to carry out an AI skill. They offer a structured approach to help the agent achieve the user's goal effectively. All right, so we will build them from scratch. Let me show you how I can configure all of this for my scenario. So let's create one. Let's give it a moment. All right, and the first one will be called Generate Follow-up for Inactive Contacts. So I'm going to start to the top right here. At the very top, I'm going to give it some title. All right, as you can see, if I click away, I can see the title here in the left top. I'm going to go back to my settings. And now I will have to keep in mind to take care of the code as well. Let me get my code. Lovely. And also, I would like to include the process description. Let me get that as well. All right, and again, we check whether the current contact has any related activities within the last 30 days, and we need it to return a result indicating if recent communication exists. All right, so my settings are taken care of. I have my title, I have my code, I have my process description. Now I'm ready to move on to parameters here at the top. All right, let's see. For this one, I'm going to need just 2 parameters. I'm going to call them current contact and subject. Let's see. Let's start with the first one then. I'm going to click on that parameter and I'm going to go for the right data type. It's going to be lookup in my case. Perhaps if I could zoom out just a little bit, maybe it would be more comfortable for you to look. I hope this is still visible. If you need me to zoom in, please let me know in the chat. I'm gonna give it some title, like current contact. All right, I want to make sure we're reading into the appropriate contact of my interest. Let's see, description as well. All right, oh, I'm so sorry. Give me just 1 second. On my side, I seem to be missing the description for this one in my notes. Give me just 1 second. I want to be precise here. Inactive context, 1 second. Descriptions are very important. I don't want to introduce one that won't work for me. I want to make sure that all things will work properly. Let me get the proper description. There it is, lovely. Here you go, description. All right, so the contact record currently open and triggering the process. Lovely. The code, I'm gonna make it simple. Current contact. Oh, I don't need any spaces here. Lovely. Data type lookup, lookup. Let's see. What's my data source? That would be contact. There it is. All right, direction. I'm gonna make sure that this is input. Let's see. And I also want to make sure that I will go to the bottom and make it required right here. All right, I will need to make it required so that our skill would understand that these values should always be passed into the action. All right, that's it for this first parameter. I'm going to save. And I'll create a second one for the subject of this activity. So I will add parameter and I will go for the text data type this time. Let me go to the top here. Let me go to subject for its title. That would be the same for the code. I like to keep things simple. Let's see. For the description, I could say something simple like this is a subject for the activity, like so. All right, this time I'm going to set direction to output, like so. All right. We will later need to take care of our value. In a second, we will introduce a read data element on our canvas to help us get this detail. So for this one, no need to make it required. I'm going to save what I have so far, like so. All right, that brings us to our canvas. Let's take care of the flow. As you can see, we have the beginning and the end of our process. We have the flow portion. I'm going to need an element here for myself. Let's see. And this is some actions from the left side. I will go to read data element. And I have to make sure it's properly connected with my flow. Let's give it a moment. And to the right side, I have a panel where I can continue working on my element. Let's say I'm going to label it read activity. As you can see, if I click away, I will be able to see the label here. Later in the future, if I had a lot of elements on my canvas, it would be easier for me to recognize which element is doing what in my scenario. Now let's see, read data. I'm gonna go for the mode that we already have here, read the first record in selection. And now we are asked which objects to read data from. In my case, I want to read from activity object. Here it is, like so. And now I will be using my read data element to make sure I filter through to my activity object and filter the one for my contact, as well as specify the time frame of my interest here. So previous 30 days. Let's see. With the help of filters, I'm going to add my first condition. I will click on add condition here. Let's see. For the column that I need first, that would be contact. And we're going to compare with our current contact. So compare a parameter, process parameters, and here's my current contact. Select. That's the first condition. I need a second one for that time frame that we've mentioned. So add condition again. Let's see. We have quite a number of columns here available. I'm just going to start typing start and select. All right, and I want to say, let's see, start, and then previous 30 days. There it is, previous days. 30. I have to keep in mind to confirm. If I don't, I'll lose the entire condition. So always keep in mind to confirm. All right, that's done. Let's see. And this element will have me read into the ID and the subject details, which is exactly what I need for my scenario. So I'm going to scroll down just a little bit here. As you can see, what record data should the process read? Do I need it to read everything that there could be, or do I want it to be specific here? Definitely, I want to speed up things for myself and make it easier to execute. So I'm going to read data from selected columns only. And what do I need? I definitely need ID. There it is. And also, I would need that subject. There it is. Lovely. Okay, now that we have the subject visible to us, let's say, I can go back to my parameter and fill in the value for the subject. So I can click here on this global element, parameters, and here's my subject. I'm going to take care of this value. Let's see. Process parameter. And with the help of my process element, my read data, read activity, I'm going to get my subject. Here it is. Select. All right, and this action is ready. Actually, we only need one element and two parameters for it. So I'm going to now save my progress in the top right. Let's give it a moment, and we can start building the second action that's going to support our skill and therefore our agent. Let's see. Here it is. I'm going to start a new one by clicking again on the plus sign next to action list to create a new one. All right. Let's see. I'm going to give it some name. So again, I'll start from the top right here for my name. If I click away, it's going to appear. Let me go to settings then and take care of these details. I'm going to start with the code. There you go. And then I will also need the description. I'm going to keep it brief. For process description, all right, we need to create a method draft for contacts with known activity. Okay, simple as that. In my case, let's now go to parameters. Let's see. I'm going to need 3 in my scenario. I will need contact record ID, perhaps contact name, and then message draft. So let me start with the first one. For that contact record ID. Let's see. I need a lookup type. I'm going to start from the top. I'll start with the title. So, contact record ID, for example. I will make sure to include description again. I'll keep it brief, unique identifier of the contact. Let's see. Data type stays as is, lookup. It's going to be contact. All right, direction input. That's correct. And we will make it required as well. I need this detail before anything else happens. It's very important for my process. I'm going to save. Everything is here. Lovely. Let's move on to the second one. Let's go to that contact name. We're going to need to personalize our message. So I'll add another parameter and I'll go for the text type. And again, let's say contact name. For the code, contact name as well. And description also needs to be included, used to personalize the message. And also, I want to change description, direction to output. All right. And for the value, I will be keeping in mind to go back to this parameter to take care of this value. All right, in a moment, we will introduce our read data element to make sure we can get the actual full name of our contact for our personalized message. We need to keep in mind to go back here and take care of this value once it's available. So I'm going to save what I have so far. And I'll create the third one. It's also going to be text. This one I will call message draft. I'll keep things simple, same for the code, like so. And also description. Okay. The direction, output again. And that's it for this one. All right, we will later use our formula element on our canvas, on our flow to create the personalized message. Let's save what we have. Lovely. Let me just go back to contact record for a second. Right, I wanted to take care of the code to make things readable. Record ID. Lovely. So our parameters are created. Let's see. I'm going to go to my flow now and I'll take the read data element from the top here, connect with the flow, and take care of its properties. Let's see. Let's call it read contact. All right. I need to read my contact to get that full name detail. Let's see. Which object to read data from? I'm going to go for the same mode as you can see, the first record in the selection. Now to the object. Let's go to contacts. Like so. And now, again, I want to filter through to the appropriate contact, right? Not all contacts that are there in my contact section, so I have to keep in mind to filter properly. So I'm going to go to add condition, and I'm going to compare ID with my parameter for that contact records ID, and select. Lovely. And now, once again, to the bottom of this element, I'm going to read from selected columns only. And now I can click on Add Column and circle to my full name. There it is. And save, like so. Now that we got to the full name value, I will go back to my contact name parameter to take care of this value. So let me go to parameters. Here's my contact name. And let's see. Process elements or read contact. And here's my full name that we're reading into. Lovely. Now I'm going to add a second element to my canvas. It's going to be a formula. Formula is a system action here, and it's right here. And I'll connect it with the flow, like so. And I'll take care of its properties. Let me give it some label like reminder to reach out. And then we are asked which parameter to set the formula value to. We do have a parameter for that. It's called message draft. So let me select it. So what? Oh, if I may ask somebody to mute their microphone. Thank you. Let's see. I'm going to take care now of the formula value. So simply by clicking here, I'm going to need to introduce my formula value. Let's see. My sentence will consist of two parts. A constant part of this draft, which will be the same for every draft, regardless of the contact I may need it for. So I want to make sure that this portion of my sentence is introduced within the quotes. So also, I have to keep in mind any spaces I need in my sentence also go within the quotes. It's very important. So I will introduce the quotes first. Perhaps I could zoom in a little bit. I hope this is clearly visible for you. I have my quotes, and within the quotes, I can start typing my constant part of the sentence. So, for example, I could say, hello, followed by a space, still within quotes, so that my values wouldn't be squished together. And then, outside of that hello, I'm going to add a plus sign to connect to the next value. Let's see. I would like to say hello followed the actual name of the person I'm reaching out to. So I'm going to get my full name of that person. We've introduced that with the process element, our read contact. Here it is. If I double click on it, I can see the macro. All right, lovely. So we have hello, full name. I'm going to add another plus sign to connect to the next value. And I'm going to introduce quotes again. And within quotes, I'm going to start with a space. And then I'll say perhaps something like this. Maybe I can copy what I preferred. There you go. I hope you're doing well. Just following up, as it's been a while since we last connected. Let me know if you'd like to catch up, something like this. Let's see. Still within our quotes. Yes, lovely. All right. That's it. I'm going to save. Let's see if I haven't made any errors within my sentence. Let me try to save. Lovely. Let me zoom out just a little bit. All right, so this action is ready. We have 3 parameters and 2 elements on our flow. Let me save in the top right. Let's give it a moment. Lovely. All right, so we have a custom skill with 2 actions that we created from scratch with it. All right, all associated with our custom agent. Let's see, let us test. Let's see if everything works properly and if the agent will be available from the chat's perspective. All right, first let me just refresh my environment before I test. All right, let's see. Let me go to contact section. Let's give it a moment. All right, and perhaps let's go to Peter, for example. Let's see. First, let's see. I want to go to contact person. I'm just going to change his type, as I have sufficient permissions to do so in this environment. Let's see. I'm going to go to the chat. Let's see. Perhaps we could ask, could you check for Peter if there were any activities? Let's give it a moment. Let's see if the appropriate agent will jump in. Yes, okay. So I can see at the top the name of my agent, Relationship Health Checker. There have been no recent activities for Prisha. Would you like me to generate a follow-up message draft? Yes, please. Let's give it a moment. Okay, I see everything works properly. I can see that our macro words, I can see the name of my colleague here at the top. Now I can copy and reuse this message. Of course, you could make it more complex. I wanted to make things simple for my example, of course. All right, let's check some other person. Perhaps maybe I can show you in my preset environment where I know that this one person has some recent activities. So perhaps we could see the other perspective, the other result we could get. I believe it was Alexander Wilson. This is, of course, the same agent configured in the same way. Let's check for him. Let's see. Could you please check if there were any activities for Alexander? I think this contract had some recent activities. Yes, there have been recent activities for Alexander within the last 30 days. No follow-up is needed. All right, we could continue further with our agent, but for me, that's good enough. That's in accordance with my scenario. All right, let's see. Also, I hope this will be of help for you, and it will be fun for you to create your own agents and your own skills and actions, of course, if you wish to practice. Let's see. Also, before I give voice back to Burley, let me just show you one more thing in our presentation. One second. Just a little reminder. Let's see. We're gonna have another tech hour scheduled in July 9th. As there were so many new updates from our end, we wanted to make sure that that we can show you through all of these without rushing. I wanted for this to be a pleasant learning experience for you, so I hope these details will be of help for you in the next one next week. I'll be happy to talk about the dashboards, some no-code upgrades, and our UI improvements. So I'll be very, very happy to see you next week. All right.
All right. Thanks, Tamara. That was a lot to cover in the first session, and I think it is a statement about just how exciting the 8.3 release is. There's just too much to cover. So let's just briefly highlight a couple things and we'll wrap things up. If you go to the next slide, Dagmara.
Yes, give me just 1 second. I'm getting into it. One moment. For some reason, it jumps to the start of the entire presentation, guys. I'm so
No worries. We can stay here. That's fine. So I'll just summarize. You know, you can try out this release. The trial environment has been updated, as I mentioned, and if you're an existing customer, your environments will get upgraded on sort of a rolling schedule. Talk to your customer success manager for more details, and they can coordinate with you on the timing of your upgrade. As I mentioned, also, you know, this is just the beginning. We've got the 8.3.1 release coming not that far away, and you'll see even more additions and refinements of some of the agents that Dagmar walked through. So stay tuned. And then finally, there were a lot of good questions throughout. I don't think we have time for doing Q&A now since we're already sort of over, but what we will do is we will send out a Q&A document after this to everyone who attended, and so we'll follow up and make sure that you have your questions answered. So thank you very much for attending today's Tech Hour. It's great to see all the excitement and enthusiasm about the release, and as always, please keep sending us your questions or feedback on how to improve Tech Hour, and we'd love to hear from you. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for joining. Bye-bye.